All right, y'all, what's up? This is Ed Newbins. This is Motivated Life. This is our first show in the Motivated Life studio. We had some technical difficulties, like always, when you start out something new. But I have Dennis Comer in the house. He is from Central Area Collaborative. He's a really cool guy. I've known you for about a year and a half now. It's longer than that because of COVID.
Probably, yeah. It was pre-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID. So that's what, 2.5 years, 3 years. And been able to work with him and see what he does in the community. So I invited him on the show because he does a lot of things in our community that I don't think a lot of people appreciate. And I think his program and what he works on and what he stands for really helps our community alive. So more people need to know about what you do,
Sure.
who you are, things of that nature. So what's up, Dennis?
Hey, not much, man. Just sitting there chilling, trying to get used to the snow since I was just coming out of LA
That's right.
not 2 or 3 weeks ago. So this is hurting me. But yeah, I'm the executive director for the Central Area Collaborative, and one of the things that we do is a lot of behind the scenes stuff that sets up success for other organizations.
Mm-hmm.
I like the first thing I wanted to point out is I think our biggest success in the collaborative was the Central Area Design Guidelines. And for those that don't know, in the Central Area, which is redlined, I think everybody knows it's redlined. That's where all the black folks had to live. They couldn't live anywhere else in Seattle.
Right.
What nobody knew was Jackson was a dividing line. So developers could come in and they could build whatever they wanted south of Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And the design review board was being held in Columbia City. So there was no way anybody in the Central Area, not only did you not know what was going on,
Right.
you couldn't protest or say what you wanted to say. North of Jackson, they were going to Capitol Hill's design review board. The Central Area did not even have a design review board,
Wow.
period.
Okay.
Now, the city has design guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Every neighborhood had them. Central Area did not have any design guidelines.
So what does that mean, though, for the Central Area? There's like left in limbo and no representation?
That was exactly what's going on. All the way up to, I would say 2016.
Okay.
The problem is, when we did the research for that,
Mm-hmm.
we found out Elder Robert Stevens had Central Area Design Guidelines back in 1998, 2000, could never get them passed. City Hall would not see them. City Council wouldn't. So they had them. They were just thwarted, whatever that looks like. So one of our first projects was...
But we're in Seattle, though. It's very liberal hill, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, our first program, 2016, was let's see what we can do with these Central Area Design Guidelines, neighborhood design guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Went through the process. There were like 5 organizations, Central Area Land Use Review Committee, the Historical Central Area Arts and Cultural District, the Collaborative, 23rd Avenue Act. These are all like low key, low underground groups of, community residents, not necessarily even organizations, just organized because they come together to do stuff.
Uh-huh.
But they all came together for 2 years. We hammered out design guidelines.
Okay.
Came up with them. We had Mimar Studios, which was Donald King as an architect, was a consultant. You had Grace Kim and Schemata.
Mm-hmm.
They were like the architects that put it together. But we got through the process in 2 years, came up with some design guidelines, took them to the city, and got an ordinance passed.
Okay.
That's what it eliminated the block, the north and south of Jackson. It unified the Central District. So any developer that comes in, you're going to a Central District Design Review Board, and it created the board.
Okay.
So that's where you see like the pushback and folks coming together and doing the outreach.
Mm-hmm.
That was all because that was a Central Area Collaborative project. We just said, let's take it on and see what we can do.
Oh, so you guys, so you guys, you're not getting credit for you guys a lot of stuff they did.
Yeah. So yeah, and there's other groups.
Didn't even know about that.
Right. And so when you fast forward to, let's say the Liberty Bank building,
Right.
and you look at Midtown Plaza with Lake Union Partners,
Right.
that whole 23rd and Union core.
That's the old Red Apple. Is that
No.
Oh, no, that's the other way.
It's further up where Africatown had Umoja Peace Center on the corner.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They had the little laundromat and all the other stuff.
Yeah, the
post
haircut
office.
spot. Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So, some of the backstory on that is that property was owned by the Bangassers.
Who were there?
People that they own the property.
Okay.
So they own that property. It's satisfied. For what the use that it had over the years. It was great. The problem was you could only build up to 2 stories high. You notice there was nothing high.
Yeah, I remember that.
There was never anything.
I used to
high.
walk by there.
Right.
I used to go to East Madison YMCA. We used to have Richlands down there. I mean, everything was like a low level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 2 stories.
And so when the city came through to do upzoning, you had to get community input. So the community says we will allow upzoning if there's some community benefit to it. Because it doesn't us no good if the developers get to build as many apartments as they wanted to.
Right.
And so the agreement with the powers that be is, okay, you can upzone the whole corridor, 23rd Avenue. There has to be some community benefit. The folks that were in that meeting stated that the community benefit would be for the benefit of Africatown and everything that they were doing. Now, Africatown was not at this meeting, but the community felt if anybody's doing anything or should get a chance to bolster their mission, it should be Africatown because of what they were doing with the Emoji Peace Fest, Peace Center on the corner,
right,
and Earl's and all that kind of stuff. So they're like, hey, and they were the only ones doing anything. So that's how the upzone got passed. And in doing that, once the upzone got passed, the Bangashers property went from worth X millions of dollars to a whole lot more because now you can build up
vertical,
exactly. And so that's what started the development. So the first people to buy that were Lennar Homes. Lennar, big nationwide, and they were going to put the same building that's there now at Midtown was owned by Lennar. And they were going to do the same thing. The problem is, at those design reviews, they couldn't appease the public. They were like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And these are out-of-state owners. They don't know the local. They're not
in touch with the
local. And the community was like, nope. They got frustrated. Now, across the street is Lake Union Partners, who is kind of local. And they're sitting there watching this. So they're understanding what needs to happen and what kind of appeasements and, conciliations need to be made in the community in order for that to happen. That's why Africatown has the back half. It's like all that community.
So they figured out what
other folks wouldn't do, and they're like, we're going to incorporate that. We're going to, and it's the right thing to do, for the ethnic community. Yeah, exactly. Listen. And that's exactly what they did. And now you see what's happening. You've got Liberty Bank.
Right.
You've got Midtown Plaza. You've got Africatown on the back. But like I said, nobody understands who shaped that battle. I would say shape that battlefield so that the wins could be happening further down the road.
Let me ask you this, though. Do you think, because I know I grew up in the Central District from, I think it was 83 when I moved from Spokane. And I noticed that, too. As a kid, I noticed that we didn't have a lot of development. I go out to North Seattle because they busted us. So you see the difference. And I always thought about it like, as I learned about redlining as I was older, even my sister, she did a paper with redlining when she was at UW. And a lot of those covenants are still on the books as of the time that she was in school. It wasn't too long ago. And so many people are benefiting now from the upzoning that you said. Why wasn't that done before? Or is that just something that was always being blocked on, because...
Well, actually, I think the upzoning, that probably came up maybe 7 to 10 years ago when the city's bursting at the seams. There's only certain places you can go. The central area is as closest to the downtown area as as you can get.
Right.
And it's like, we got to figure out a way to increase the density there. And so
this kind of sucks though, because we had a community, and then it's like you couldn't build up.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden, when other people were there, now all of a sudden you could build up, and now all these properties that were mom and pop properties now turn into these multi-million-dollar megaplexes situations.
Exactly. So that's those are the trade-offs of the gentrification and the upzone and this, that, and the other. But again, at the end of the day, there was some community benefit. When you don't have a big hand, you got to play the hand you have. And the hand we had was, make sure Africatown and those that are in that, Bird Bar place, those that are in that area that are operating in that nonprofit, make sure they get some benefit. Even if the collaborative didn't get any benefit out of it, it's like, I don't work that. That's not my mission.
Right.
My mission is to help set it up and, get folks to where they need to get and allocate resources and try to help as best we can.